Well, we all want a beautifully neat hedge. And when they get out of hand and we don't maintain them often enough, then things can go seriously wrong. I'm going to share with you my 5 top tips for keeping your hedges in the best shape. Let's start off with number 1. Use the right equipment. Now, you could either use an electric hedge trimmer. You could, of course, use the good old-fashioned shears where the manual work comes in, or you could use one of these gorgeous guys, which is a lithium-ion battery-operated hedge trimmer. Whatever you're going to use, just make sure that your equipment is kept in good nick. Next point, never, ever, ever, ever remove too much of the foliage at once. Rather more frequent than infrequent. And the reason for this is because as soon as we remove too much foliage, well, yep, underneath here, because it's been trained as a hedge, inside here there's no light, so you've got no foliage. Third point, even if you think you're Edward Scissorhands, always use some guards. Really important. I know it sounds a bit anal, but folks, there can be nothing worse than a crinkle cut, wavy hedge, one that goes a bit narrow and then opens up. Plus, what ends up happening is that you end up with bald patches around the base because of the angle that we have trimmed. Remembering that your line is now going to be the guard at which you only want to be removing very small bits of the foliage at any given time. When choosing a trimmer, look for something like this that has ergonomically designed handles. It allows you to tackle meters of hedging without getting tired. An interchangeable lithium-ion battery means you can cut for up to 135 minutes or around 450 square meters of hedging. Still on tip 3, when you've got the top nice and plumb level, remove your line to the side. And here, this is most important, particularly for the shape, the angle of your vertical. And folks, this is where we can go wrong. Ideally, a hedge should be narrower at the top and broader at the base, because that then allows the light to be able to get through, which is why it's important for this that's over here, so that when we are pruning, which is an instinctual thing, we automatically tend to go in instead of going out. So your top must be narrower than the base of your hedge. The blades are durable and robust, with a teeth opening of 20 millimeters, allowing for clean, fast cuts. When done, simply pop it back into the charger, ready for your next round of trimming. My 4th tip for amazing hedges is always to mulch. Now folks, we are blessed that we've got some trees around here. We simply just take the leaves and put them into the garden bed, and we make sure, that they're underneath here too, where the root zone is. And what does it do? Well, it improves the humic content, plus it traps the moisture in here, and the more leaves, the better that you can get in here. And my 5th tip is feeding. Folks, the more you feed, the quicker it grows. Feed with a high nitrogen fertilizer, especially if it's a foliage hedge. If you are dealing with a hedge which you would like to get flowers, then you could certainly use a 315 or any organic base, which is similar in that ratio. So a high nitrogen for good growth, and then of course lots of water. Feeding should be every 6 to 8 weeks to get that guy firing on all cylinders.